Welcome back from the break. Thank you for your company. You're still watching NTV Sport Nights. A reminder of our Recognize Me. We are asking you to let us know who you think this sports personality is, and the clue is on the screen. Captain is the way I'm going to pronounce it today, Captain. And then in our head-to-head, we are looking at two U.S. basketballers, professional basketballers, Charles Barkley and Karl Malone. Who do you think was a better player? Now, over the weekend, NTV ran a poll asking who would be crowned the 2022-23 Star Times Uganda Premier League champion. 50% of the respondents said SC Villa. Vipers got 39%, and KCCA, I was about to say poultry, 11%, but for Clive's sake, I will not say it. So this trophy here was supposed to be Villa's trophy, and it wasn't Villa's trophy. So I want to ask our guest here, Abdul Wasike, thank you for joining us today. But what happened, or how did you get this?
But you said that this trophy was supposed to be for Villa.
Yeah.
And how did you get it?
We snatched it.
On the last day.
On the last day. The way it happened in Germany, it's the same way it happened in Uganda.
The way it happened in Germany, in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, it's the way it happened in Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did Coach Isavide, what was he telling the team? What, yeah.
Actually, for him, was confident and very sure that we're going to win the trophy, because I personally can say, me as Abdul Wasike, I left in jail very pissed. First of all, the way we lost the game, the manner we lost the game, but he was telling me, Abdul, be calm.
You mean
confident.
The one old Dragoness Bull?
Yeah, the one old Dragoness Bull. But be calm, be confident, we are going to win this trophy. I'm like, guys, you can't convince me that we're going to win this trophy. So it's like, Abdul, now you see, that's why you see the most pictures. I was kneeling down, celebrating. What was like, Abdul, I told you you're going to win this trophy. You're going to win this trophy. I told you to be calm and believe in us. So. And the final date is this.
Yeah, by the way, you can understand Abdul's sentiments because that day, Vipers almost lost that game. They needed a 94th minute penalty for them to walk out with a point. KCC also is struggling against Musoga United in Jinja, and it is only Villa that won that day because all teams won 49 points before the game. So you go into the final day of the season. Of course, there's that excitement. Villa have won their game. The other title contenders have drawn their games. It was so obvious that they were going to win until you probably had to remind yourself who they were up against.
Yeah.
And they were up against Uganda Revenue Authority. Vipers were up against Musoga United at home. And probably they had a more realistic chance for them to win a championship. But Villa had their destiny in their hands, while Vipers had to take care of business against Musoga United and pray that URA does the job for them. And that is what exactly happened. Villa had to beat Uganda Revenue Authority for some reason, like they have not done in 5 years. They still didn't beat Uganda Revenue Authority as URA won that game 1-0. And Vipers did their business, and they were crowned champions.
Congratulations again.
Thank you, and thanks to NTV support and NTV Sport.
Abdul, you said you were sure you're going to win the trophy. I thought you were sure you're going to win your game, not the trophy, because it wasn't in your hands.
5-0. Very convincing.
Me, I was sure that we are going to win the game.
But not the trophy.
I was also like 80% sure that Villa is going to win
their game.
Yeah, their game.
Which would give them that
Yeah,
trophy.
What was the talk between players before the game? Did they think Villa were going to win?
For them, the players were like, let's go and win our game, and the rest will just come up. That's why you see after the game, we're all on phones checking to see what's happening in Wankulukuku. So when the final score came in, we had to celebrate.
Anyway, before we celebrate Abdul, Villa.
Don't hit them. Villa, for me, I've faced their wrath.
Villa have had an impressive season for an underdog who had no right to be in the title talk at the start of the season. They did improve defensively, winning a catalogue of games 1-0, and that was the only chance against URA, by the way. Another 1-0. And I thought at the weekend, the build-up to that game, on social media, on the road to Wankulukuku, at Wankulukuku, the pressure overwhelmed the boys. Not only the boys, but the coach as well.
That's Villa, right?
Villa. because he told in his setup as well, because the players who could have tried to maneuver and get or create a goal started on the bench. The Evans Serbiris started on the bench. So he started cowed, like caved in, and URA were waiting for Villa to show up, and Villa didn't show up. And then a casual free kick from Said Cheine, headed in by Fesali, and challenged it. Because I remember Gift Fred, who has been quite a force in the Villa defense, jumping, leaping highest, and then the ball just misses him, and then Fesali is just alone with 2 Villa defenders grounded and only Fesali in air. The keeper as well didn't come out to try and challenge for the ball. So the players, I think, succumbed to the pressure. And when you look at the players between the two teams, of course, URA had some seniority in terms of what to do. And I thought perhaps the coach overthought it, should have just gone for it. But at the end of the day, we sound smarter after it has happened on what should have been done. But perhaps that's what could have been done. But at the end of the day, to the management of Villa, to the players, they should feel the hurt, feel the pain, but no, they just have to build on to what they did. Because like I said, this is a team, for the last 5 seasons, the only time they finished third, I think, 2018, 2019, or 20, around there. Then from that, they were fighting relegation in the final 2-3 games of the season. So from fighting relegation to getting a collection of Masaza and regional, football players, and forming a team that actually brings itself into the title talk, for me that was it. But to just summarize that, while Villa improved, I thought it was Vipers. I'll use the word mediocrity even if you're champions, because I know you had 74 points last season, you had 53 now as champions. Because of Villa's mediocrity and KCCA's mediocrity, KCCA and Vipers, Villa looked like they're the team, but Vipers and KCCA should have been quite far off. Vipers and KCCA never engaged Gear 2. You never knew which team was going to show up. So it's a league that was poor, and just the games ran out when Vipers were on top.
But also, Andre, don't forget that we, as Vipers Sports Club, we had 2 changes in coaches.
In coaching.
Yeah, so that's kind of destabilizes the team. Then KCC also had a change in management.
KCC had 4.
You see, so it happens. It happens as well. But you feel sorry for Villa. In 2017-2018, Vipers did the same. We were head to head. We went to Masaka. We beat them 1-0. Then we won the trophy. And also, now we just snatch it away from them.
I want to ask about the cost of hooliganism.
Oh, yeah.
And we have seen, you talked a lot about Viper. I thought you were almost mentioning it. And of course, Ondu Paraka, who have been unfortunately relegated. Could this have been better? Could this have been any better?
First of all, in the Villa scenario, you want to believe in a way it worked in their favor. After they were docked 2 points and ordered to play 5 games outside Kampala, they played in Lira. They played 5 games at that venue and lost only once against KCCA. And they won all the other 4 games.
And they only lost because the home team,
the visiting team arrived earlier than the home team. There was a bit of disorganization.
Villa didn't know they were to travel. Actually, one of the people at Villa called. He's like, "Is it true? These guys are like," I'm like, "Hey, you guys are asking whether it's true. KCCA are on the way."
So out of a possible 15, they collected 12. But also they went on a run, because I remember 12 games, and they won 10 out of those 12 games and drew only 2. So that run brought them into the equation. But also when you mentioned the issue of hooliganism, and the big question has been as to what if they weren't docked those 2 points and they still had the same kind of run they had, they would have actually won that championship the day KCCA drew with Busoga United and Vipers drew with Bull Football Club. But still, the fact that they were able to get themselves back into the equation for me speaks volumes. And like Andrew said, they shouldn't probably beat themselves about it, though you have every reason to feel sad. You are there and you have it in your hands, but for some reason you eventually don't get it. And you just need to wait and see how they lift themselves up coming into into next season, hopefully they can be as competitive as they have been this season.
And maybe just to add on the hooliganism, of course, we are talking, before I go to Villa, on Paraka themselves.
Yeah.
Theirs was carried forward from the previous season. So they started with -2 points and -2 goals, and they were playing their games in Bombo instead of their fortress, Green Light Stadium. So those games, they went on forever without winning, and then they drew 3 games in a row, but on the table they were on minus.
I think they played 10 games away.
5.
5
All of them
away.
were 5, I think.
And from Bomba, and then you're versing us as well.
So on the Paraka,
Take
it started on wrong footing, and it played on their minds, the travels and all. So by the time they went back, like the season had left them.
Yeah.
And clearly, the relegation was, like it was written. So for them, all the two, Onduparaka and Villa, were repeat offenders. Remember Onduparaka when they asked the game between Onduparaka and KCA, and FUFA gave them money to replay games and all. Same as Villa. Villa fans and some of our colleagues are saying it was too harsh, you know, docking them points that it's the fans that did this, so you can't punish the team.
Take control of your fans.
Yeah,
But you see, Andre, we have failed to curb that vice of hooliganism in this country. Whenever it happens, we just can't bury our heads. It has happened. People have been beaten and what. I remember 2017, no, is it 2018 or 2019? I'd gone to watch URA versus Sports Club Villa in Nambole. I was attacked.
Yeah, I
By
remember.
Villa fans.
Yeah.
I even said viewing the video right now. So the army had to take me out because of the Villa fans. Even recently here, imagine prisons in Luzira. I'm like, I'm even home. I'm home. Really, I'm home. So I was watching Villa and Maroons. So these guys attacked me. Why am I here? Why am I watching the?
But there are allegations that you block them on Twitter. So they got to see you.
But also, Andrew, when you look
But
at
you see, that all moves around hooliganism and what. So
when you look at the reasons why Villa were punished in the manner that they were punished, they are playing against Wakiso Giants at Wankulukuku. Wakiso Giants score a very beautiful goal, but according to them, Hassan Senyonjo, who I think had dribbled past Gift Fred, the ball went out before he passed for that ball to be
According to the Villa fans.
According to the Villa fans. And it is half time, and they're actually throwing all sorts of insults at the referees, stopping them from getting
urine, according to the reports.
And these are things that, like you said, these are things that often happen, and we call out the Federation of the powers that be to call these guys to order. And I thought, for me, it was the right thing to do at the time, and they probably now realize how it cost them a championship. Probably next season or moving forward, they can react better, because they had no reason why they were throwing insults at the match officials, pouring urine at the match officials, using all sorts of words they were
Knocking
using.
out the officials from the dressing room.
Exactly. So they just love taking issues into their own hands, and I'm happy that Villa as an institution has actually started taking action, because some of their fans, who won't mention names, they don't deserve the publicity, they have actually started banning them from attending their matches.
Actually,
so Villa fans should know that moving forward, KCCF has also started doing the same.
that attacked me.
So it is important that fans need to know that they behave, but also before Villa fans start behaving, rather start blaming whoever for them failing to win the league title, they should remember that game against Wakiso Giants, how they behaved, the points that were docked, that could have probably been the reason why they weren't able to win the championship this time round after 19 years of trying.
Okay, Mr. Wasike, I'll ask you, what plans do you have in place, you know, for the way forward, for you to keep this, make this 3 in a row and add a 7th for the next season?
We shall have to reinforce our squad, because this season we were not at our best, by the way. We had some losses that were not. We will see that this is us playing into our own hands rather than that good. So we plan to reinforce our squad. We've been in the group stages. We've seen how these guys play, and we've seen their squads as well, and we are planning to reinforce our squad going into the CAF Champions League next season, because I think we're going to have only 2 weeks or 3 weeks of rest, because the Kagame Sekafa championship
It's around the corner.
in July. So we have to really get our squad early, know the players that we want before we go for Sekafa and test them and see.
And then even the Uganda Cup.
Uganda Cup is,
Actually, when I would say is that you feel that there is need to worry and they need to find solutions very fast. Because the season ended, we had only 4 players in double figures. Alan Kaiwa on 13, Charles Bale on 12, Rogers Mato on 11, then Fred Amaku on 10. As you can see, a team won a championship, and actually they don't have a player in double figures. Biton Karisa was the top scorer for Vipers with 9 goals. And then you have Yunus Sentamu, who you should have expected to lift this team in the absence of Cesar Mazoki on 8 goals. Karimu Ndugwa has 8. I don't know how many he scored for Vipers because he was crossing from Bull Football Club. So if you have 3 of probably your best players in front of goal and none of them getting into double figures, Wasike is talking about the Kagame Cup. They want to get back onto the continent to play in the group stages of the Champions League and all that. You feel that that is probably the department that they need to reinforce. All the people who are already there need to step up, because we've not even mentioned the Congolese who came in January. You look at his structure, they did Drogba look alike. And for me, he was doing he was doing very good things in pre-season, and as like actually when the season starts, this guy is going to be a monster. But we didn't get to see him, so there is need to reinforce, especially
because the fact
in that department.
If we managed to score 60 goals last season.
Abdul, actually, Vipers scored 69 goals last season in the league. You've now scored 40. Vipers, who were threatening to take the title, Villa, scored 27 goals in 28 matches now. If a team is scoring 27 goals in 28 matches, they even have no business being near the top. So it's an indictment on the whole league. That's why I told you the final day, the excitement of the final day, which actually we need to applaud.
Yes, compensated.
It masked all the ills and the poor standards and of the players and the whole league.
Yeah.
But if we were to just say good things, man, I liked the fact that UPL at least managed to make sure the teams that had not played, we take it all the way, and the 3 teams, even in their mediocrity, managed to take us to the league finale with excitement. I saw on Twitter people who had not even been following the league. Everyone was excited. Ugandan football, the romance was back. Everyone was asking the permutations. Okay, so what happened? So Villa, so this. It was exciting, knowing that actually the title could be won at Lugogo, at Chitende or Wankulukuku. So for me, I thought that excitement, if the clubs, FUFA, UPL just capitalize on that, it was a good advert in terms of the excitement, anticipation, the thrill, social media.
And getting a chopper. To
it all. Yeah, the chopper, of course, it depends on who you know. People know people who have choppers. I talked to them, and which was good. But then I have a question. How do you get a chopper to bring a trophy like this? This trophy is good in size. It's big, but I think UPL and FUFA need to at least improve it and going forward.
We also need to put a disclaimer that this sticker is not like this because of Abdul and company. I'm reliably informed it was delivered like this.
Oh yeah.
Can we get a better picture?
It was delivered from the chopper. It was delivered like this.
Yeah. So the chopper should be able to carry a classier trophy than this, because I mean, let's La Peur. I hope is this how they read this French? La Peur. Yeah. So if we compare this, that's big in size. This is small but cute, classy. This is not true. This is just literally we are encouraging.
No, but Andrew, it is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Somebody in South Africa has been able to see that this sticker is peeling off.
You want to tell us who that is?
No.
That's I know the person
who has sent us a message.
Yeah. So the chopper, that's we are talking at points of improvement. It's not just criticizing, points of improvement. We don't expect this same kind of trophy at least next season. I think they should give it to you for keeps, even if you've just defended. Actually, when you
no, actually, from what I gather, I don't know why it is taking long. All football competitions in Uganda are supposed to have customized designs of trophies, like how we see the medals, how the medals are customized. All football competitions in Uganda are supposed to have trophies with different designs. So this is not the actual design of the league trophy. Probably the service provider or the manufacturer is taking very long. But every championship in Uganda is supposed to have a unique design of
brand.
trophy.
Like you need to brand yourself.
A brand.
Like when you look at the Champions League, you know that's the Champions League. You look at the Premier League.
It is something that has been around for close to 3 years now. But like I said, I don't know why it is taking forever.
But it's good we are calling it out. This trophy shouldn't be delivered by a helicopter.
We need to know
be good. It should have been in the center, whereby anywhere the title they say is one, just if it's a bike or something.
Also I love the idea. Former Villa defender Godfrey Buhokore
a former winner
to bring the trophy out to the stadium. Probably his stage was set for Wankulukuku, but I thought if it was going if it was going to beach Tende,
should have been a Vipers
it should have been
player,
a Vipers
former winner.
player. Bayano, Edward Sali, Halid Rally, I'm told, is in the country. They should have gotten that player who fits that to present that trophy at St.
Ismail Dakara's story was created some good anticipation that the helicopter flew over Uncle Kuku thrice. But it wasn't delivering the trophy. It was around, doing rounds and all. Yeah, but before we leave, I know KCCA were on the periphery, but Rogers Mato scored 4 goals in that 5-0 win over Bright Stars. Bright Stars could have scored 3 goals in the first half. Nurdin Bunjo, Ibrahim Kisinde, hit the post. Literally, they had KCA, but once KCA scored the first, Rogers Mato scoring going from 7 to 11. He's the same boy who saved Uganda and kept them going in the AFCON. He's also been summoned in Mitchell's provisional for the 2-man squad. So yeah, but I have a question.
I think, Andre, we have had a problem this season. That was scoring.
Yeah, the entire league, we are struggling.
Because if the top scorer can be
at 13.
Kaiwa at 13, then you see
with lots of penalties, by the way. You need to emphasize that.
Abdo, just want to know, when Alex Isabire came in, what points can you point to that he has changed?
Man management. Okay, that's the strongest point. Yeah,
the players' relationship
with him and what, because he started by telling them, you guys, you paid a lot of money and you don't even have a single goal in 5 games. You don't have a single goal. No. Then he entered into the Yunus's heads, the likes of Kalis.
Yunus scored a beautiful volley.
Goal. He told them, guys, you are shaming Dr. Lawrence Mulimba. If it's a lot of money, you don't have a single goal. So from there, he created a kind of a rapport with the players and what. And
I also believe we've been able to see what exactly Bright and Kani can do under Alexis Abide. Because we all know the kind of player and we all know his abilities, his potential, his abilities to carry the team on his shoulders. We've not entirely seen that, but hopefully moving forward, we'll be able to see that more going into next season.
We kind of sweet under Robertinho.
Yeah, but him as a person, like he just couldn't get out of his shell.
Yeah,
and we saw
he pushed him. He told me, you know what, you're very slow. You're not strong, but push yourself.
Yeah,
do this, try to this, do gym, run, do this until.
Thank you, Abdul. You bring that point. I was chatting with one of the people who has been in the game, watches almost every game in the country at KCCA at the weekend, and he said the point which you note with almost every Ugandan player. There is the lack of players pushing themselves beyond the coaching, the general coaching. And the players are kind of dismissive. They'll ask you, who are you? Like, what have you done? You are old people. Wasambachi, stuff like that. And you look at these players and clearly they are much better than they offer. If you talk of Anukani, talk of Alan Okello, talk of Travis Mutiaba, like, dying some more because it's for you. So we are lacking that, whereby the players push themselves further, and perhaps if they are watching, perhaps they know, but they need to do it, and it shows in the quality of the league, and that also goes for the coaching as well. How much do they put in to improve themselves?
Truth be told, Andre, our players don't push themselves. Our players don't push themselves, but they need to work hard. For them, they only come for the 1 or 2 hour session of training, and it's done. But I remember back then we had players.
It's like reporting for government duty.
But back then we had players who would push themselves. Like after training, they stay on the pitch to train themselves, or even train before. Do you know why this Congolese guy, came here and shined. Manzoki would come early to Chitende. Since we have a gym, would be in the gym. By the time the coaches arrived for training, for him was already warmed up and is ready to go. That's why the man succeeded here. Quite a lot of goals.
I was told when KCFs were going to play Express, remember at that time they were still in contention. Beat Express, go on top of the table, and then move on like that. Their chairman, Martin Sekaja, who was out of the country at the time, called the captain and talked to the team and actually upped the stakes for the winning bonus. Beating Express, the winning bonus was 500,000 for every player. And it still didn't happen.
Okay.
He gave them the same offer against Usoga United. And still the players went out there and they played like, it is not that important. And he was so bitter that to the extent that he started asking questions.
Because you can blame the coach.
You've tried your level best to make sure you push them and motivate them. But then they will get out there on the field of play and they play like there's nothing to play for. Let's just go out there, get done with these 90 minutes and go back home. And which is a very, very, very wrong character for a team that is trying to win a championship. Because today you'll talk of Vipers winning the championship. You'll talk of how Villa were very, very close. But
Villa were given, apparently, 2 million Uganda shillings per player.
But if there is a team that had a realistic chance of winning this championship and they kept on blowing away their chances, that team was KCCFC.
Especially on Luparaka to draw that game.
Police, rather UPDF 1-1, Maroons 1-1, the Barren draw against Express at Wankulukuku. That game again, like they had everything in their powers to get hold of this championship, but they just didn't take control. And that is how Vipers got into the equation. That is how also Villa got themselves into the equation. And much as we say even on the final day of the season, they stood a realistic chance, I really don't think. Because Vipers were always going to beat Busoga United, and they were always going to be above KCGFC. So they had a chance to score the 5 goals they scored against Maroons, against UPDF, against Busoga United, against Express, and they didn't. So I feel probably they let themselves down.
Okay, one last thing. One positive thing you can take out from all this, in addition to, of course, this trophy and all the learnings you have. What one thing can you say?
Wow. What can I say?
Maybe you can tell us, how I know this is a tough question for you. How confident are you that you'll have one coach for the next season?
Andre, that's a very person.
Are you putting all your faith in Alex Sisaviri?
In every coach
I know Doctor might be watching.
Every coach we bring, we give him the support 100% to do what he wants. So now that we're going into the CAF Champions League, so the stakes are going to be high.
Higher, definitely.
Yeah, stakes will be high. Now we have reached there, we have tested it. No, so now we want more of it because, man, leaving this place and winning in Congo and beating TP Mazembe, I think for me is the biggest highlight for me. I never what happened, the selfie from the big man that he gave me. Cartoon is like, come and take a selfie. So I was happy.
Yeah, but before
everything for me.
Before we probably talk about going back on the continent and playing in the group stages of the Champions League, Vipers have an opportunity to do something they have not done before. That is winning a double.
Yeah.
They almost won it in 2018 after winning the league. Then KCCFC beat them in the final that was in Bukedi.
Yeah, Bukedi.
Last season, it almost happened. It didn't hapen when Bull beat them in Masindi. Now they have an opportunity to do it this round.
Actually, they have an expert.
In cup finals, actually.
He wins, it will be his 5th.
Yeah, by the way, yeah. So they have a very, very huge opportunity to finally
tomorrow
land the
we are playing the second leg of the semi-final against Soltero Bright Stars. In the first leg, we won 4-0. Probably in case we win tomorrow, or in case of a draw. So we are into the finals
in Lira.
Okay. Yes.
The coach of Vipers, Alex Isabiri, had a target of winning the title this season at the start of the season. He has won it, though not with Bull.
Andrew, you're very funny. Well, we've got to take a short break, but when we return, we'll be talking about the moments that defined the 2022-2023 English Premier League.